Lions TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors you can already see on the screen. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2024, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your post-match analysis video for Sunday's defeat against Leeds United at Ellen Road. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. Okay, so first things first, before I get into this video, I do apologise. It is a day late. I was in absolute pieces yesterday. A mishap meant that I had to drive to Leeds on Sunday and back, and I wasn't expecting to have to do that. I had a few friends in here Friday, followed by something else Saturday. So, yeah, I went to Leeds. Not fully fresh, shall we say, and that journey just absolutely buried me yesterday, and I'm still shattered now. But look, we're going to get it done. We're going to get into the starting 11. It was Sarkic in goal, flat back four. Ryan Leonard, right back. Joe Bryan, left back. Tanganga and Cooper were the two central defenders. Saville and Mitchell were the two central midfielders, with Zian Fleming in a 10. Brooke Norton-Cuffy in for Duncan Watmore on the right. George Honeyman on the left. And Michael Obafemi as a central striker. I said in my full-time reaction that we've been treated to some absolute classics over recent years between these two clubs, and it definitely wasn't that. I don't feel that we're in a place where that could be a classic. You know, in previous years when we've competed in these games against Leeds, we've had much better players, in my opinion. And some of you might question that as Millwall fans, but look back at some of the team sheets that we've had to the team sheet we have out at a minute, and that's credit to Neil Harris. It's nothing against the players we've got, but I just feel that our level of players maybe aren't what some people think they are at the minute. And you look back down the years of the players you've had: Sean Williams, Lee Gregory, Steve Morrison, Jeb Wallace. You know, in those teams, I don't really feel at the minute we've got, you know, an out-and-out good forward line for one, or even, you know, a match winner for two, unless Fleming's absolutely at the top of his game, which he hasn't been, in my opinion, all season. First half was one-way traffic. However, that was always going to happen, for one. And for two, I think Neil Harris not wanted that to happen. But as I said, we can't go toe-to-toe with Leeds, the club they are. And by the way, I've been accused in the past of having a soft spot for Leeds. Let's not go that far. I know a few Leeds fans watch this channel. But look, they're exciting. They're a big club with a big fan base. Great city for a night out, by the way, if you've never had one there. I've had a few. And they just play attacking football. However, I don't feel Leeds were anywhere near their best on the day. And maybe, you know, they didn't have to be, just individuals, really. Individual quality sort of won on that game, I would have felt. But first half was one-way traffic. We was getting bodies behind the ball. We was doubling up on them out wide when we could, which we needed to do because they love to slot those little balls in between pockets. I love to see that. They get the ball on the edge of the box, and instead of getting the ball wide and just whipping one in, they don't panic. They keep the ball. They make these little runs, little ankle runs in behind centre halves and full backs. And I suppose, you know, the money they pay for players, that's what that gets you. But look, we defended well in the first half. Neil Harris would have said, stay in the game. I imagine he would have said, stay in the game until 70 minutes, something like that, and we'll try and nick something. So they did have all the possession without majorly hurting us. Of course, they did get the goal eventually, and that was through a no-toe. The referee and linesman were fucking horrendous for both sides. I'm not sitting here saying we lost the game because of the referee and linesman. They were terrible, the officials, terrible for both teams. There's a few instances, and I just jumped to that from Anoto's goal because I believe, and I can't find it on a replay, I've watched the highlights, I've watched the extended highlights, but him and Cooper go into a tussle. I've said this on my full-time reaction, but I'll go over it again. They go into a tussle, Anoto's backing in, it gets flipped, and Cooper sort of lands on him, and he's sort of laying on him like a mattress, Richard Cowley said on Twitter. And they sort of, the ball goes away, so I'm not sure if, obviously I was at the ground, the cameras then go away. And the linesman is literally standing there, and we're behind the linesman. It's right in front of us. And Anoto just goes crack, elbows Cooper straight on the jaw. The linesman is looking at it, and he doesn't alert the ref to this. He doesn't get sent off, and he probably should have done. He stays on the pitch and ends up scoring a really, really good goal. But not just him. I mean, Cooper's nearly took one of their players' fucking heads off, and he's not violent, Cooper. He's just a big fucking giraffe, isn't he? He's clumsy. But that should have been a penalty for Leeds. And Cooper could have been in trouble there for a clumsy challenge, booking sendings off wise. You had another one where George Savile's running towards the touchline, again, right in front of us. And he sort of goes in with a Leeds player, cuts across him. Savile then kicks it twice, clean off the... Once he tees himself up, second one he kicks it clean off the pitch. And the linesman gives the throw to us. They were awful. The officials, absolutely awful. So I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we lost the game because of the officials. They were terrible for both sides. But yeah, look, eventually, Leeds get their goal, which they did deserve in that first half. And it's sort of, I've seen Neil Harris comment on it, it's a catalogue of errors that lead up to that happening. But eventually, when the goal comes, I said it is just a good goal. Ball goes up in the air. Tanganga gets maybe a little bit of a soft header on it, and he heads it back into an area that he shouldn't. When Leeds then pick the ball up, and the player feeds it right to a Noto, or his fucking name is a Noto, I think it is. Maybe Joe Bryan's too far away from him. Maybe Joe Bryan allows him too much space to run on, and he should get closer to him. But again, this is what money can get you, and it's a great, great finish. Sarkic, absolutely no chance. Leeds' towels are up at that point. And I said to my boy at that point, if we can get to 1-0 at half-time, that'll do us, because we know what Harris will do. He'll try and contain to a point, and then we might try and nick something out of the game. Sarkic then makes a really, really good save. Again, a curler from the opposite side. He gets to his left-hand side and he saves it, tips it around the post. It's a very good save, yes. And I thought Sarkic had a very good game. And as I said, I'm pleased with him at the minute. I'm growing in confidence. But if he does let that in, it's a George Long against Brereton Diaz against Blackburn last game of the season all over again. And I'm asking why my goalkeepers let that in pretty much in the middle of the goal, slightly to the corner. But yeah, look, he's got to save it. He gets a really strong hand on it. And he does save it. And we go in at half-time, 1-0 down. I said it on the grand scheme of things, Leeds back top after this performance, come down from the Premier League. Big team expected to go back there, millions of pounds worth of talent compared to us, struggling at the wrong end of the division. I felt it was in control, if you like, without actually being in control of the game. I think it went how we would have all expected it to go, and Neil Harris would have expected it to go. And in the second half, we just hope that we can ramp it up a notch and have a little go. And I thought we did do that. The first 15 minutes of the second half, I didn't feel much happen. I thought it was a little bit of a lazy approach from both sides. I mean, I suppose Leeds didn't have to really go for the juggler. There was 1-0 up, probably knowing that we'd never scored 2 in a million years. So they just sort of had the ball, relaxed a bit. We didn't want to press too much. We stayed compact and in our shape. And then we come into life with the 4 substitutions. Now, the substitutions he made were all like for like, as I said at the time. I don't think I've ever seen a quadruple sub all at once, but it did happen. And fair play to Harris. I like what he did with Obafemi at Blackburn away, where he didn't start him but brought him on at half-time, and that paid off. And this, again, also paid off. I'm not sure, as I said, already, whether it was planned or whether he felt the game plan was working without really enough energy being put into it by the players. I don't feel anyone played particularly well for us. I thought Hannibal was terrible in the game. No offense, I know he tried hard, but I just thought he did not stop giving the ball away. So I wasn't overly disappointed when he came off. McNamara come on for Leonard. I'm not sure that was just for a bit more legs, because Leonard's one of our better players. Or a lot of traffic was coming down his side from Leeds in the first half. So look, the subs come on. Mitchell off, Denor on, Longman on for Watmore. Just those two, let's leave it. Anyway, look, and then that does give us an instant boost. Now, one way that we can hurt teams, or used to be able to hurt teams, is set pieces. But that's sort of a dead threat for us at the minute now. People get round Cooper and they nullify that, and we can't create chances. So the couple of occasions in the first half where it looked like we might cause them issues was when we're knocking balls over the top, and it's not pretty to watch, but look, at this stage of the season, as we know, it is what it is. We knock balls over the top for Obafemi. He showed a few times in that first half that, yes, Leeds may have the quality, but he definitely had them for pace. He just couldn't get onto them. And when Denor came on, he is one of those that can slot those nice passes. So when it comes to the West Brom game on Good Friday, I would like to see Denor in that side and trying to slot straight flat balls in between the lines for Obafemi, because he's definitely got the pace. I thought he works hard in the game, Obafemi. I thought that he showed he had pace. He showed he got a lot fitter. However, he got a lot a lot. He got a bit of shit from our fans for not shooting at points. But I don't know. I think he's improved, and he's definitely looks like he's slimmed up a bit, and he's definitely got pace. So it's not easy for him. He's not a Neil Harris type player, is he? If you went to Neil Harris, you're going to be Millwall manager in 1 month's time. Who's the last person you'd probably want as your centre forward? No disrespect to Obafemi, because he's a great player, but he probably would say Obafemi, because as we know, Neil Harris likes to go 2 up front. He likes to have a big man that you can all get around on the knockdowns. And Obafemi's doing a role that is alien to him. So I thought we did all right in the game, Obafemi. I thought we got a little bit of unfair shit from our fans, especially the one in the second half towards the end where it's coming across his body, goes over this side. He's got to try and turn his shoot first time, and he hadn't come across his body yet. By that point, the Leeds player's across, so he's obviously protected the ball, tried to do something different with it. Some of our fans were telling him to shoot, but the ball physically hadn't run across his body to allow him to do that. But look, the substitutions came, and we started to create chances, get balls into the box. Longman, fucking brilliant 1 minute, terrible the next. But what I do like about Longman is he will take that responsibility. We saw him score a great goal earlier in the season against Rotherham, where he cuts in right foot. He tries to do that one this time on his left foot. Doesn't quite work out for him. Obafemi again shows good feet in the box, switches it left and right, and then his left foot shot unfortunately ends up in with the fans behind the Ellen Road stand. And then a corner, I think, as well, that comes over. Header gets blocked, loose ball falls to Cooper. He can't quite guide it home. And then the final one, which was probably the best one, actually ended up being offside. Good ball comes in. Is it from Joe Bryan? Switches to his right foot. And it's Ryan Longman, a really good header. Bounces there, goalkeeper gets up, makes a really good save. However, he was offside. But we was knocking on the door, and Leeds sort of, I thought, fell into a little bit of a lull at that point. We sort of dragged them to our level, or dragged them into the fight and the game that we wanted. But then they go up the other end and they get a second goal. Just before they get that second goal, they did have other chances. They sort of, they up their game. They come back into it at that point. Sarkic, again, really good double save. I think it's from Jorginho, where he saves the first one. Then the second one, he fires back from the byline. He sort of hits him on the knees, hits the post and comes away. And then they get their second goal. That one's from Dan James. Again, good work out wide from there, man. Cuts back. And Dan James sort of scuffs an effort, which hits 2 or 3 on the way through and goes in. Dan James again, then later on in the day, it's the post. And that's about it. We lose the game. Look, as expected. What Neil Harris has got out this side previous to this, 10 points out of 12, 3 wins and 1 draw from a side that were in free fall, an absolute comedy show at the back. You can't knock it. And like Kelly said in his video, I think he's pretty much a free hit, this one. Other results went our way pretty much around us, other than QPR picking up a point, other than Huddersfield picking up a point. You've got Sheffield Wednesday got absolutely battered. Stoke got absolutely battered. And I still think that we got enough about us to get out of this situation that we're in. Of course, now it is the international break, and we'll be back after that against West Brom and then against Rotherham 3 days later away, which for me, 4 points from those two should again push us towards the right end of things, especially with Birmingham playing Queen's Park Rangers on Good Friday. I laughed there because, of course, if you don't know, today the news was broke. It looks like Gary Rowett could be going back to Birmingham as interim till the end of the season in the absence of Tony Mowbray. But I think that's your post-match analysis done. I know I'll finish it and think there's other things I wanted to say, but look, no complaints. Leeds celebrating at the end. They're top of the league now after being a long way off the top 2 at one point. But Farker's got them firing. However, I will be honest, I don't think it was at their best anywhere near it. It wasn't a classic by any stretch, but it was a good day, very long day up to Yorkshire, and I'm still recovering on Tuesday. So it is the international break now, and it is my son's birthday, my youngest son's birthday tomorrow. He'll be 10. So you may not see me now for a couple of days, and I'll be back sort of, I might do something Thursday-ish. I've got the 9 to go video, which I did last week, and we'll look at the results I've got because I wasn't far off on him. We'll do the 8 to go video, but I might do that later this week or early next week. But anyway, that's it. That's your post-match analysis done. I'm going back to bed. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.